Welcome to a special edition of The Low Blow. I am, as always, Jorge Hernandez. Remember that you can catch the show on nmcombatsports.com or the Low Blow Boxing MMA podcast page on Facebook. Today, we're thrilled to have back on the show the undefeated 22-0 WBA light middleweight champion of the world, Austin No Doubt Trout. Austin, welcome back.
Thank you for having me back.
Not a problem at all. So what do you refer to yourself as? Do you call yourself the super welter or the light middleweight champion of the world?
Well, since I'm the WBA champ, right now I'm considering myself the super welter. That's what they call it. Yeah. But, either or. Light middleweight, junior middleweight.
Yeah, they all call it different things, so definitely. It's the same way. It's the same way. So this Saturday, you're actually making your first defense of your title against 40-12 David Lopez in San Luis Potosi there in Mexico. He's considered one of the most avoided boxers at middleweight, maybe even in boxing altogether. So how much do you actually know about this guy?
Well, we know a lot about guy. We try to make sure that we did our homework. I know why he's most avoided. He's a dangerous opponent, but still very respected in the game. He has a deceiving record. Those 12 losses came early on in his career when he was not as good and not as serious with the sport. So to me, since he hasn't lost since I think it's 2007, in my eyes, he's another undefeated fighter, ready to take margin away to achieve his own.
And how this guy's, 6'2". Is he going to be the tallest fighter that you ever gone in with in the ring?
Well, actually, yes, technically yes. My third fight from the last against Nelson Tapia, he was a good 6'1".
Yeah, he was a big guy.
But he didn't have as long a reach as David. So this will be the tallest man I've ever fought professionally.
And so how do you prepare for something like that? I think his reach might be a good 5 or 6 inches longer than yours. So how do you prepare for a 6'2" southpaw at that?
Well, it doesn't help that my coach is tiny. But we got some sparring partners that are tall, have long reaches, and know how to use it. So, we've been sparring with some tall southpaws, since day one.
What holes do you see in his game, if any? From the video or maybe even what you've known about him. There's a small amount of video actually on him, maybe even online. He has fought on ESPN a couple of times, and also a lot of those Mexican networks as well. So what do you see any holes, if any, at his game, or how do you look to approach this situation with two lefties in the ring?
Yeah, he's technically sound pretty good, but the holes I see is just his lack of speed. He's a smart guy. He sticks to his game plan pretty good, but I'm going to use his game plan against him. I know he's going to try to come and try to bang my body out, but to get to my body means he has to come down to my level and get closer, which is going to help me out to get to him. I'm prepared for a good, tough fight. I don't in any way think it's going to be an easy one. He's slow-footed, so I'm going to use that to my advantage and just, use footwork to keep turning him and make him pay.
Yeah, and it's the thing with David, too, is that he does use that left hand that a lot of right-handers can't see, and he's not going to have that advantage when he's in there with you either.
No, but then again, neither will I. I won't have that left hand that I like to use a lot. But, it's going to be about battle with jabs. And since he has a long jab, we have a good way to use that. Hopefully get him reaching and make him pay for that reach.
So, was it a lot easier to set up this fight than it was against Rigoberto Alvarez, your last fight? I know they switched the venue a bunch of times on you last time. Was it easier? How did it actually go to actually set this fight up in San Luis Potosi? Obviously, David Lopez is from Nogales, and it's not too close to where you guys will actually be fighting. It's almost as if you're fighting on neutral ground.
Yeah. I would say it was easier to set this fight up because Rigoberto Alvarez didn't want to fight me. The thing about David is that this is his opportunity, and he's more than willing to get in the ring with me, and that in that sense made it easier. But as far as venue changes and it's just dealing with the Mexican promoters. Their professionalism isn't as sharp as it is here in America because people sue for everything in America. So, they changed the venue about 3-4 times. Matter of fact, we just found out we're fighting in Potosi, I think a week ago, which was an issue. But, I want to fight, so I didn't let anything get in the way of me getting in there and staying busy. I'm sorry.
No, not a problem. And this will actually be, I think, maybe your third time that you actually fight in Mexico. What do you enjoy about that country so much, besides the fact that they actually even pay you?
Well, one, the fans, the people, they're the biggest part of it. You know, they have so much love and passion for boxing and for boxers. You know, regardless if I'm the guy coming out into their town to fight their guy, the fact that I'm a fighter, they just respect and love it. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of bullying and you know, catcalls going on while I'm in the ring. But just the passion itself, when you look for me against me, you know, just to show that much love for the sport is very appreciated. It's kind of like boxing in the 80s and the 90s. You know, they flock to the weigh-ins, they flock to the press conferences, they want my autograph and picture all the time, and then, you know, time of the fight, then it turns to the real ugly head, and here comes the booing and throwing things. But then right after the fight, they turn back to loving me again.
Who do you actually see as maybe the best a couple of guys here in this division, or guys that you would ultimately like to fight?
You know, I would say I honestly and truly believe I am the best in my 154-pound division. I think next to it's tough because there's a lot of good guys in here in this class, and to single, you know, one out besides myself, I would have said Paul Williams, but you know, we have to see if he could bounce back from that loss to Sergio Martinez.
Yeah.
You know, Vanes, he's a good one. I'm not really impressed with Saul Alvarez, although he is a good fighter. You know, they're all good, and when I say I'm not impressed, I just, that's me personally.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go with Paul Williams.
Wanted to get your opinion on this past Saturday's fight between Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and Sebastian Zibek. I mean, did you watch the fight? What did you actually think about it?
Yeah, I thought Zibek won, and I also think that they should do their best to keep Chavez Jr. away from me.
I mean, before, I mean, he's fought, like, the other local guy. I mean, if you were ever to fight him, it'd be like avenging that loss that Ray Sanchez had to him here in town, man, here in Albuquerque.
That's right. I mean, we could take that route if they want to look at it like that. But I'm more of just wanting to put all the hype down to rest. You know, I've never been a guy who was very hyped up, and a lot of guys that are real hyped up, you know, they don't impress me at all. Man, I don't think they deserve all the hype.
Yeah. A few weeks ago, I mean, we heard that HBO was possibly going to put a fight between Nobuhiro Ishida and Paul Williams. I mean, Ishida's a guy that, you know, didn't want to fight you. So how did you feel? I mean, that obviously that fight's not happening anymore. But how did you feel when you heard that guy was getting a fight against Paul Williams?
You know, it made sense because, you know, he didn't want to fight me, and it's not really the most deserving that get those kind of fights in this sport. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just felt like, you know, it just goes with how boxing is nowadays, and really Paul Williams would have been a smart move for him since she had just knocked out James Kirkland, and Paul Williams was going to piggyback that kind of, you know, that hype that was coming off of it. Mm. It was a big career move for them, but it didn't end up happening. And I'm kind of happy he didn't, because I still like to fight the shooter.
What do you like about Ishida, or what flaws do you maybe even see in the guy?
Well, he can't take a punch, and he keeps his head up a lot. James Kirkland was walking straight in and just letting him hit everything. He was getting hit with everything Ishida was putting out there. I feel a lot of flaws. When you pressure him, you know, he can't take the good pressure. He can take the pressure. I'm sorry, he's boxing. He can take the pressure, but he can't really take, you know, someone giving him angles and moving on him. You know, if you move with him, that's what's going to make him start thinking and lunging and making mistakes.
Yeah. It was announced, I think, late last night, earlier today, that Victor Ortiz and Floyd Mayweather are fighting. What do you think about that match?
Yeah, that kind of caught me by surprise. I didn't think Golden Boy would put Victor Ortiz, you know, in the fire pit so quickly. But I like the fight. It's going to be very interesting. I want to see how Victor in his left-handed style is going to do with Floyd. Floyd is just such a good athlete and great fighter. I think he'll be able to do well with Victor. But I'm hoping Victor can pull one out, you know?
Yeah. Oh,
Because
definitely.
I like the guy, and I like how he fights. And then I would like to see him be champion longer than just one defense.
Yeah. And I mean, both of you guys have a few similarities there. I mean, you guys are just coming off a victory, and now you're going to defend a title. So, how do you stay motivated? How does that drive continue? Does it change at all after you actually win the championship compared to when you're getting prepared to defend it?
Oh yeah. When I got the title, I look at it as like my career had just started. You know, now it's time to get in there with the big boys. There's no slacking at all. It's just, you know, you got to make sure the intensity stays up, and if not, raise the intensity level more. So, like I said, there's no more there's no more bums, there's no more road warriors. It's nothing but top 10 guys, you know.
Mm.
And I'm sure Victor feels the same way. I mean, he had to fight Berger for it, which made the intensity level go up. And now to keep it, you know, it's one thing to get on top, but it's another thing to stay on top.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's going to be more work to have to stay on top than it is to get it.
Definitely. So any shout outs that you want to send out to your fans here in New Mexico or maybe all throughout the Southwest or even the world?
Yes, you know, I just want to tell New Mexico thank you for rocking with the kid. I'm the 4th world champion, and I plan to keep it here in New Mexico and add some more belts to my collection. You know, you guys been with me since I was, you know, a kid, 10 years old, going around the state, you know, Junior Olympics, state silver gloves, and I'm happy you guys are still behind me. So much love to the Southwest and New Mexico as a whole. Lots of crews to stand up, and I just want to thank God for these opportunities and for many more to come.
Yeah, and it's a loaded weekend, too, when it comes out to New Mexico boxing. You got Archie Ray in California on Friday, yourself and Holly Holm on Saturday. I mean, we're going to try our best to find that Televisa somewhere on the internet, man, so we can watch you. And no doubt someone's going to be reposting that or streaming it live.
I pray so. I know Justin.tv had it last time.
And
so, I mean, if you want to check that out.
Yeah, we'll definitely have that posted on the website there on the Low Blow MMA and Boxing Podcast. So, Austin Trout against David Lopez for the WBA light middleweight title, super welterweight title, whatever you want to call it. It's a world belt, June 11th on Televisa in San Luis Potosi, Mexico. Austin Trout, thank you very much for joining us and good luck.
Thank you.